Oh. Great. Hello everyone. We already have 10 people, which is wonderful. Now I'm thinking I forgot to make a post on our Together Virtually group, but I think I posted the tours in the calendar, so hopefully people will notice, and more wonderful supporters will join ours. Hi Fran, hi Claire, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your donations and help and contributions. Thank you. We are in sacred place, Kyiv, Pechersk, Lavra. I always loved this tour because it is so calm, so inspiring, and you can really take energy from here. It's always been kind of a monastic life, a city within the city. So while we will be waiting here for a few moments, probably more people will join. Hello Julie, hello Marilyn, hello Nathalie. So I will just show you around how the monks lived, because there are many streets, but we will not go inside all of them because it's not possible. The territory is big, and I will take you through the main kind of touristic paths, and not just touristic, but the places that are popular. And there are huge cathedrals, big bell tower, and this is the simple monastic life like it was many centuries ago, because it's all started in the 12th century, and the monastery is still working, and there are a lot of streets, like side streets, which we are not exploring. Hello everyone, already 15 people. I'm so excited. Before we start, we will wait a few seconds and I will tell you a personal story, because probably you know that a day ago, yesterday, there was a huge attack on Kyiv. It was drone attack, missile attack, as usual. Russians were using all sort of things to destroy the city, and for Ukraine they used 500 drones. For the city of Kyiv, 175. Up to this moment, 28 people died in Kyiv because they were targeting residential buildings. That was happening at night, and some people didn't bother to go to bomb shelter, and that caused a lot of casualties. So today is mourning day in Kyiv, and the flags are kind of lowered down. Even the music on the radio stations are kind of very nostalgic, quiet, soft, without any kind of loud sound. So everything is reminding that we are mourning and remembering those people who died yesterday. So many interesting stories and really inspiring stories appeared in local publics, like people are sharing how they managed to survive the attack. For example, one boy, he was holding the dog, and all of a sudden the dog just jumped out and ran away. And he chased the dog. At that moment, the missile hit his house and it just collapsed. And this is how he survived. Just the dog led him away from his death. And the boy didn't find the dog yet, but this dog saved his life, and he's still looking for him. And another story of a lady who had to, the young girl wanted to spend a night with her boyfriend. They kind of lived together, but her mother called her and asked to come because her mother felt sick or just bored or just sad, and she was persuading her daughter to come. And the daughter listened to her and came to her mom, and this is how her life was saved. Probably mom's heart felt something. But today, when I just bumped on these kind of stories, I decided to share them with you, because it's our reality that 28 people died. Some are still below the rubbles, and it will take some time to identify so it's not the finite number, the complete number of the deaths, but also there are cases of miraculous survivors, and I feel that the angels, or like the God or the guard in the form of the dog and the mom, saved them. And I decided to begin our walk today with these inspirational stories, sad story about them shelling, about the attack, but also inspirational stories of those who were saved because we are in the sacred place. We in Kyiv, Pechersk, Lavra, or it's called sometimes cave monastery, because for foreigners it's hard to pronounce the words. It's for more than 1,000 years it's been a sacred place since the monks Anthony and Feodosi, they established the Lavra. They came here from I think from Greece, and they started digging the caves, just as you can see the caves in so-called kind of cave cities in Greece. But in Greece they are digging inside the stone, and that is why the caves remain solid, while here they were digging down, because when they were digging in the kind of walls, everything was collapsing. We don't have here the stones, and they were digging down. This is how the caves were formed, because they were digging deep, similar to the cities, holy cities in Greece, but we have another soil. That is why they were digging deep, not within the stones. So let's go, and I will show you everything. Thank you so much for being with me, and if you want to support me, there is the PayPal account, and there is the buy me a coffee link in the description, and I'm very grateful that you are here and want to see Ukraine. So let's go. This is the beautiful church here, but we will go to another place. There are beautiful churches everywhere, actually. And it's the sacred place. It survived a lot of wars, and I think it's shaping the culture of Ukraine and shaping our hearts as well. Famous Ukrainian poet Taras Shevchenko was working here on this place, and you can see the simple monastic doors, and here is the place where Taras Shevchenko was drawing his pictures, and we have some kind of small installation. Hello Jerry, thank you for joining. Hello, welcome everyone. We are in Kyiv, Pechersk, Lavra, and coming just to the central street. Everything was created by the humble monks. Everything is so blessed because this was the main pilgrimage place of Kievan Rus. It always had these golden domes. They are shining, and even now in these dark times of war, the cupolas are shining. It was not just the big monastic kind of city within the city. They were printing books. There was the hospital. There was the school. So it was a very social place. And if you want to feel the soul of Kyiv, the sacred soul of Kyiv, you need to come here because this is where the saints walked, and you can even go to another place. Now we are on Upper Lavra, but there is the Lower Lavra, and in Lower Lavra you will see the tunnels with the silence and with these mummified monks that are still over there. There are more than 100 bodies still preserved, and they are hidden below the ground. I am on the Upper Lavra. It's now a museum, and also, for example, this is the active church, the Church of Annunciation. But if you want to explore holy caves, you just need to come personally because it's free, but it's like this spiritual experience, and they don't allow to film there, and of course there is no connectivity because it's about 10 meters below the ground. This place sometimes is called the Vatican of Eastern Europe, because really it is huge and it has great history, and it's always been so sacred, and this unshakable spirit of the city of Kyiv is kept here. So how it all started, let me tell you how it all started. In the 11th century, Kyiv was the center and the powerful city of the Kievan Rus. The placers, this place was surrounded by the forests and by the cliffs, because we are on the top, and just behind this beautiful temple, this beautiful cathedral, we have Dnieper River. So it's like we are on this monastery was built on the hillside, and when the first monk, his name was Anthony, arrived here, he was trying to find this solitude, but he didn't build the house. Instead, he was digging a cave, and this is how he established this monastery. And this is why it is called Pechersk Lavra, because in Ukrainian Pechera means a cave. So this is cave monastery. And it has a lot of churches, one incredible Annunciation Church, and it has also dormitories for monks, museums, one big tower, and a lot of chapels. Museums are situated like this, so they are situated in the dwellings where the monks used to live. You see, this is the street where the monks used to live, and now there are museums inside. For example, this is the famous museum of Nicola Sadristi, and you need to look inside the microscope, and over there you will see the camels walking in the needle. You will see the flea, or what is it? Yes, shod flea. And some other interesting teeny tiny things that you can see just with the microscope. The similar museum is in Prague, by the way, also in the monastery. So it's this place was always open for pilgrims, and gradually more than 100 mummified monks appeared underground. There was the special process, like how the monks were appearing. They were praying, and they were eating just bread and water. And when other monks noticed that that bread and water is untouched for 3 days, it meant that monk was already dead. So they closed this kind of cell and looked inside it after 3 months. And if the body was preserved and not rotten, it meant that the monk was sacred, and they left the body flee and they left the body in the caves down the ground. And gradually the number of these saints was growing, and people were coming to see them, to touch them. And there are even famous people like the national hero. He was the huge bogatyr, it's like the giant fighter Ilya Muromets. He is also famous. He's famous for the folklore tales, Ukrainian and Russian folklore tales. So he's hiding his body is in those caves. Let me show you where the monks lived. This is street. This is the museum street, but it's very beautiful. Lavra, like the title Lavra, was given to the most important and influential Orthodox monasteries for men. So it wasn't for nuns, just for men. And Pechera means a cave. So they came here and they were digging these narrow, winding underground passages. We can call them even catacombs, because these were dark tunnels. And now we have two sets, like closer caves and far caves. There are two sets of those catacombs. At first, they used these tunnels as homes, then they were using them as chapels, and then they started to build the houses on the ground. So it wasn't enough place for them below the ground, so they started to build above the ground, and they were using these catacombs just to bury the bodies. So it's not just the monastery, it's huge city within the city with a lot of beautiful museums. And now you can see incredible bell tower. We call it the Leaning Tower of Kyiv. It was built in 1745, and back then that was the tallest building in Kyiv. It was designed by the German architect. His name was Schedel, and it's almost 100 meters high. But it leans. You can't see it, but it's leaning. And Kyiv is proud to have its own leaning tower. The bell tower has this 62 centimeters tilt from the vertical correct axis. Why that happens? Because we don't know actually why, because they built it and then it started leaning, but the engineers did nothing. They were just nervously waiting and looking at it, and it's just standing and holding strong. There is no elevator. If you want to climb, you need to use the staircase. The walls are very thick, and on the clear day when you are on the top, you can see the whole city with a lot of shiny these onion-shaped domes. The beauty of Lavra is not in these incredible buildings. It's of course in the faith of the people, of the monks who were praying here for centuries. I think that when I have something like the heavy heart, I'm coming here, I can just, it's not obligatory to go to the church. I can just sit close to the rose bushes, pray, and I feel this 1,000-year power of faith that is helping me. And it has the incredible panoramic views of Kyiv from the lower Lavra. Now we are in upper Lavra. And especially during the war, it's also, it gives you kind of more power. The main value is here in this underground labyrinth and this beautiful cathedral. Now you can see that it's shining with these cupolas, but it's the reconstruction of the original cathedral that was ruined during the World War II, and even now the historians don't know exactly who ruined it. Germans or Soviets, because that was in Soviet style to use the tactics of the scorched earth, and they were just left them dynamite, and it was blown up. And then it was rebuilt during the time when Ukraine was already independent. Here you can see the real technique of plinth. So it was built in the 12th century, and here you can see the real wall that was left after that blown up that happened in 1941. Plinth is this very thin prototype of brick, and they are mixed together with these huge stones. Inside, when you go to the church, you will see the vestiges of the walls that are remained. They are still there. But overall, this church is new, and it was built as the beautiful replica according to the real layouts of the church that was kind of started here in the 11th century. The whole story of this place goes back to 1051. So this is the official date when the monk Anthony arrived from the Mount Athos, and he was digging those caves in the green hills of Kyiv, and then his friend Theodosi joined him, and together they began expanding those caves and established this proper monastic settlement. These monks, they were never looking for the comfort. They were digging the tunnels by hand, and they were fasting, they were praying, and finally the original cathedral that was standing on this place appeared in 1073. And later more churches and monastic buildings spread up. So it's really now the soul of Ukraine in stone, gold, and silence, because now local time is 7:20. It's a museum, but you see I'm alone here because there are no tourists, and they left. There are very few people. When I came, they even let me inside. I don't know when they will kick me out, but now there is no one, just us. In front of you is the Trinity Gate. So this is the kind of the entrance where the tourists are coming. It's called Trinity Church, and this is the original church. It was built here in the 12th century, and it has never been destroyed. It survived everything: the Mongols, the Soviets, and all the regimes that we had between these Mongols and Soviets. And now if you walk under this arch twice, like in and out, you will leave all your sins behind. So sometimes people are coming here, and if you don't want to ask your, I would say, like priest to forgive you the sins, you just may quickly go under this arch of the Trinity Gate Church. Let me show you our great Lavra bell tower again from this beautiful linden tree. I love the period when the linden tree are blossoming. I don't know why, but I feel so romantic, and I absolutely love this sweet, sweet scent of linden trees. I will go around the cathedral, the Mission Cathedral, and I will tell you that originally it was inspired by the great Byzantine architecture, and it's always been the kind of the center of spirituality, of Christianity, because Prince Vladimir baptized Kievan Rus in 988, and since the time the Christianity was spreading. There is even the beautiful legend behind this cathedral. It's said that when monk Anthony was praying, the divine skies opened, and the fire burned the bushes that were growing on the slope, and this is how the flat space appeared. Here there was the space for the church, and then the Mother of God herself appeared to the monk, gave the draw kind of the layout in the sky, and at the same moment she appeared to the 12 Greek builders. So she gave them gold and showed them the future cathedral shape, and this is how those Greek builders came here, and they built this church, or helped to build it. But the history really wasn't kind to this Mission Cathedral, because it was ruined a little bit in the 13th century during the Mongols invasion, and then as I told you, almost the whole cathedral was ruined during World War II. We don't know who did it, because Soviets were blaming Nazis, and Nazis were blaming Soviets. During the Soviet regime, this temple was standing, and they turned it into the museum but the monastery was still operating and the pilgrims were coming. And this church, you can see this one, it was a refectory at first. Like a refectory, this is the place where the monks were eating. And for 50 years, while the Domitian Cathedral was not reconstructed, it was standing in rubble. This was the main church of Kyiv, Pechersk, Lavra. And it's also kind of a gem of the complex. It was built in the 19th century, and back then the monastery was thriving because more than 1,000 monks were living there, and it's the masterpiece of classical architecture. It has the beautiful green dome. Inside this part is very dark with the iconostasis, and this part, the refectory itself, when the monks were eating, it is very long, very bright and very shining. Some people were criticizing the size of this church. They were saying, like, why do you need such a huge place where the monks are sharing their meals? But when let's say, like, when this Domitian Cathedral was ruined, it was serving as the main church for more than 50 years. And from this side, it's also very beautiful. Yes, you know, it's incredible. It's incredible because from this side you can see the saints, and we have colorful frescoes, and we can see the original wall. So this is the wall of that remained from the Byzantine, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, temple. This is how it looked like. It wasn't white at all, it was kind of brownish. This is how in Byzantine they were building the churches with this plinth. So this is incredible Kyiv, Pechersk, Lavra. I feel here so calm. I feel that this place remembers everything, that it remembers the scars of the country, and it holds that this can be called like a mirror of Ukraine. Because it is always standing, even when the winds are blowing hard, even when they destroy everything. Kyiv, Pechersk, Lavra is standing, and look how beautiful it's from that side. There, the monks were writing the chronicles, ancient chronicles. They were writing like for the people, and now thanks to those chronicles we can understand how the life was happening here centuries ago. What they were doing, they were praying, they were painting icons, they were printing the first books. They had the school, they were making even this alcoholic drinks, they were creating, they were producing the candles. So there were a lot of production happening here. It wasn't just the church, it was like I could say that the whole, not even the city but the country. The small country, and it's surrounded by the huge walls. That is why when something was happening, you can always come and hide behind the monastic walls. Can you see the crow? Guys, please let me know if there is the good connection here, because it's so beautiful. The crow sits on the fountain, and flies away. She was drinking water. We are on the upper Lavra. It's kind of belongs more to the state. You need to pay for the ticket, and you will go during the daytime to all these cathedrals and to all the museums, to the factory church and to the bell tower. And the lower Lavra is completely free. But you will explore the magic of the caves if you just take a candle and go inside. If you're not afraid of claustrophobia, because they are very, very narrow. There is no, there are not enough kind of air to breathe, and I fainted when I went there because it's very dark. There is no air, and a little bit. For me, it's a little bit frightening to walk close to all those mummies. But people are coming, praying, kissing the coffins. Mummies are lying in the coffins, and you don't see the whole body. You can see the kind of the pieces of cloth. They are wrapped in them, and you can see just a hand or a foot that just sticks out. The magpie, the crow, was flying. Yes, great reception. So when before the war, everything was open, and there was the connection of like with the lower Lavra and upper Lavra. Now it's not. There is no connection, and if we go that way, we will not come anywhere. It was done, like this passage was done by Catherine the Great, because she loved to come to Kyiv to pray. And some Russian tsars, when they wanted to know the answer to very important questions of their lives, they would come here. So these cobblestones, they were made by Catherine the Great by her order to connect upper Lavra and lower Lavra, to let her kind of pray and easily come in between the two. But now it's closed. I will go out now from this complex, and I will go to another place. I will take you to lower Lavra. So let me show you again. This is the original wall that survived the ruination of the World War II. We don't know how the bodies were preserved, because they were not kind of using any bombs. In Orthodox faith, the body is the vessel of the soul, and if the body is not rotten, is kind of incorrupted, it means that the soul is holy and the soul is pure, that even the death cannot touch it. That was the essence of that belief. So many monks were just working in the gardens, making some kind of honey, wine, and all other production. But some monks, they were choosing to live in the complete isolation, and they were using very simple food. So when that food remained untouched for 3 days, they sealed this cell for 3 months, and then they opened it, and if the monk was there and the body was not rotten, they just declared him a saint. I think it was the very deep spiritual path for the people to do this. Some monks really decided in their lives to take this path of self-mummification, because they were using very simple food that also allowed their bodies, like this, eating the specific diet and drinking these herbal infusions. That was the discipline, the willpower, the devotion, and this is how the body in future didn't rot. So not everyone can become a saint. As once one monk said, no matter where you go, you take yourself with you. If you are dissatisfied with the world, you will be dissatisfied in the cell. I think these are the part of the wisdom that we all need to hear, and just follow your soul and keep your soul pure. And then wherever you go, you will be satisfied with your surrounding and with what is happening with you. Please let me know if you have any questions, or if you just have your thoughts about this place. And it's really very different from the situation that we have in Kyiv and in Ukraine. I need to tell you that some people are really worried because this attack that we have yesterday showed a lot of signs. I could say not very good signs for myself. The house that I posted about on Facebook was hit by the drone, and it's just a few meters away from my home. And I noticed that this time the drones were flying so low that just very, very low on the kind of height of, let's say, 10-story building. I live on the 23rd floor, so it's kind of half of the building. They're flying very low, and they cannot fly in between the buildings. They will hit the building, and that's all. So what we noticed is that I think, it's my personal opinion, we don't have enough I don't know, missiles or like these resources to hit the drones and the missiles that Russians are sending. On the 20th of August, the help that was given us by President Biden is finishing, and I hope that Europe will support us with more protection, because we need it. You see, they are sending more and more missiles, drones, and this the number are growing. That is why we have to protect ourselves, and it's very upsetting to see that so many drones and missiles really hit the targets, or they were not even having this. They didn't have the target because they were targeting just the civilian population, the buildings, and they collapsed wherever people were sleeping. So we're going out from Kyiv, Pechersk, Lavra, from this upper Lavra complex, and now we're going to go below the Trinity Church. So if you made some sin today, we can go and you will be forgiven. You remember, like in and out and no sins. It's under the reconstruction. You can see the scaffolding here. So you can see the original frescoes, but I hope that next year they will finish the reconstruction and I will show it to you. Over there is one of the other courtyards where monks used to live. Everything is so beautiful and clean because it's so very well kept. You can see these cupolas that are dark with the stars. So there are different kind of buildings. They are primarily in Ukrainian Baroque style because Hetman Ivan Mazepa, he was the commander of Cossacks. He invested a lot of money and he poured a lot of money into the reconstruction of Kyiv, Pechersk, Lavra, and it's really beautiful, clean and neat, and we can be proud when showing it to you. For many people, the main interest is to go inside the caves. It's not possible to do that virtually with the tour, but it's a very spiritual and humbling experience. They even require them special clothing, so women are not allowed to wear jeans, like you have to cover yourself with a special skirt. And that is the part of our history. So no one, just us. Yes, so beautiful, you are right. Let's have a last look and we will go to see something else. Those are the huge iron gates. Hello, if you just joined ours, it's okay. I will leave the tour. I will not delete it, and you will be able to explore more. It's not a problem. You will start from the beginning and see everything. So this is the entrance to the Trinity Church. It's beautiful from this side. It's also already reconstructed. The silence in that place where we just were is so powerful. The pilgrims are still coming, but usually they're arriving during the daytime, and it's very slowly here. People are whispering prayers. The candles are flickering. So even during the war, it's very is the place, I don't know, of sacrifice, of mystery, of devotion. I don't know why, but I feel safe here. I feel safe here, and I believe that they will not ruin it. It's still standing. You can see these huge walls. So when the Kyiv prince was ruling on these lands, it was very prestigious to be a prince in Kyiv, because this prince can often always hide behind these monastic walls. That was very important back then, like when there were no missiles and drones. You had walls. The walls was the great protection. And today, friend, was the special tour, because I could reflect that silence of that moment. It's incredible. It's incredible because really we were alone. It's emotional to come here because the country is at war, Ukraine is at war, but the bells of Kyiv, Pechersk, Lavra is still ringing. And it reminds us that these bells were ringing during Tatar invasions, Polish rule, the Russian Empire, the Soviet atheism. And sometimes I look at them bell tower, and I think, like, if the bells don't stop if they still ring, maybe this is the lesson that can teach me something, that we will live through this shadow, we will live through this awful barbaric war, and we will keep our faith, and we will keep our light even in that darkness. They are making some kind of reconstruction works here. So probably, guys, I will not go with you to the lower Lavra, because again we will not go inside the caves. Let's go to Motherland monument. It's not far away from here, and you will see more diverse caves, so you have seen enough, I think, sacred places for today. And now we can go and you will see just the city, how it lives. You will see the people, the streets. I need to tell you that there are just like not so many people. Summer, probably people left somewhere, and after these horrible attacks, people try to stay at home and just have rest, because during the attacks nobody could sleep, and the next day was very kind of relaxed, kind of tiresome. It was also a lot of pain, because we were all looking at one man, like a man and a wife. They were waiting for the body of their son to be kind of unblocked by the rescuers, and they were staying and praying for 10 hours. For 10 hours, this picture was everywhere. I saw this picture in different international kind of sources. And then finally, in the evening, the rescuers found the body of the boy, but the miracle didn't happen, and he didn't survive. Then we saw the awful reaction of a mother and the father. They fell down on their knees, crying, shouting. Psychologists were coming to them, and they believed in the miracle for the last moment. Unfortunately, miracles, now I understand, being in Kyiv, quite seldom happen at war. We can believe in them, but miracles are rare at war. And these missile attacks are proving that. Just for the normal population, just for the normal civilians, nothing military, residential buildings, and they are sending this huge number of drones. And what Russians are saying, that they will send more, that they are going to make this autumn cool, like this autumn, bloody autumn, because when they produce a lot of drones, like if they could send yesterday 200 drones, like in autumn they will be sending, let's say, 500 drones for Kyiv alone, and that's a huge number. They will be just ruining everything, infrastructure, people's lives, for nothing. So this is their new tactic of war, to have to launch this huge number of drones on the capital of Ukraine. Let me show you how Kyiv looks like. And when you come to Kyiv after this war is over, I'm sure that you will go to light the candles in the caves and in the church, and you will hear the stories, the silence of those war stories. And now when I'm looking at these golden domes, I understand that nothing can break the spirit of the people who built this beauty underground. So how long can this war go on? Julie, it will go as long as Putin wants, and as long as he has resources for that war. It's like what I think. He doesn't care about lives, but if he feels that it's not possible for him to continue doing this, he would stop. He would stop fighting. You can see the gate. You see, this is the gate, and it's the ancient gate, but inside it is the Tachi Memorial. It's closed now, but inside you can see the pictures of the children who were killed during this war, and father is singing a lullaby, very soft Ukrainian lullaby, and he's saying like, sleep my child and let you have the beautiful dreams. Father is singing the lullaby, and there are pictures of the children who lost their lives. There are also a lot of toys, because the foreign ambassadors, together with our President Zelensky, is going inside, putting those toys in this kind of memorial for the children, for the Ukrainian children. Can you see our Iron Lady? So that is the huge statue. That is called Motherland Monument. It's the Iron Lady with the sword, with the shield, and she has also the soul of Ukraine. Have you ever seen a woman that weighs 500 tons and holding 16-meter sword? It was created in 1980s. And it's also the wonderful kind of not just landmark, but the incredible symbol of Ukraine, Motherland Monument, because Kyiv is the capital of courage, and Motherland is holding this sword. You can see that flag is lowered down because it's the mourning because of that attack that took lives of 28 people yesterday. By the way, this statue, Motherland Monument, is taller than Statue of Liberty. It's 102 meters high, and it's taller than many skyscrapers. Very proud statue. It's standing right on the top of the hill, close to the Dnieper River, and it watches the whole city. When you are approaching the city from the bridges or crossing the bridges, you can see that Motherland Monument. She's a kind of a statement. She's not a statue. She's a statement, like, I'm made of steel. I'm welded by the groundbreaking Ukrainian technology, because they used this welding technology to make the statue for the first time. and she is still watching, like a mother watching over her children. You know, when the sirens are going off, she is still standing. Guys, I am so grateful for your donations, and there is I would like to tell you, there is the Regula's portal just kindly sent me the donation, but I think so please check the PayPal address that you used, because it should have a dot inside. It should in between, marvelous.kyiv. So if you are using without dot, I can be able to receive money. So I was telling that to Regula's portal. Probably you used the email address without the dot. Please check it out, and I will be very grateful for that. And thank you so much for all your support, for all your donations, and for all your kind words, and just for the fact that you are with me. Thank you. You are inspiring me, always inspiring me to continue, to live, to stand, just like this Motherland monument. And drones, yes, they send the drones specifically at night to make the people kind of to be like in this continuous state of sleep deprivation. It's very hard to work after that. It's very hard to live, and you cannot think, concentrate. There is an interesting story. You know, I went today to make some videos, and at 9 a.m. we have this minute of silence when the whole country stops, and you can hear the sound of metronome, you know, the tickling sound of the clock, tick, 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 that measures the sound. And I was in the metro, so the people respected that minute of silence for the fallen heroes, for the fallen soldiers, for the people who died for ours. Some people stopped to just close their eyes, and they were standing quietly. Some people, I saw that the young generation was taking out the earplugs. Some people were kind of meditating, praying, but people stopped. And then at the end of this minute, there was the words, Slava Ukraini, glory to Ukraine. And at that moment, the whole underground, all people who were at that moment at the metro, they replied, Heroem Slava, glory to heroes. And that was so powerful. And that could be our spirit, how powerful we are together. All the people were waiting for 1 minute, the minute of silence, the respect, showing the respect for the fallen heroes, and then everyone, like a choir, replied, Heroem Slava. It was just unbeatable. At that second, I understood that they could do nothing. They will not band Ukrainians. And Russians think that they can create this plan to conquer Ukraine as the plan to conquer one of the Russian, I don't know, Belgorodskaya Oblast or something like this. But we are different. We are different. We are very stubborn. We are very proud. We are very courageous. And at that moment today, I understood again this incredible Ukrainian spirit. So let's have a look at the Motherland monument. So when I was making the story before the war, it always had awful connection, just awful. Let me know what we have now, and if the connection is bad, please let me know, and I will try to go to another place. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Francis. Thank you. Thank you, Regula Sporty. Thank you, Julia Dickman. Thank you, everyone. My heart is full of this experience, like Ukrainian experience, and it's really powerful when you can feel that in tiny details. When this awful attack happened, when you can see the happy face of the boy who survived, and he's running around Kyiv making on Facebook and Instagram this post that I lost the dog, but the dog saved me, because the dog jumped out from his hands and ran away just a few seconds before the drone hit the house and it collapsed. So a few words about this statue. When they were building it, they were in a hurry, because Nikol, like Brezhnev, was coming to the inauguration, and they just chopped the crane, the huge crane, and threw these pieces, dumped the pieces into the Dnieper River, because they didn't have time to dismantle the crane. And this general secretary was coming. That was a kind of Soviet efficiency, just to dump the huge crane into the river. The Motherland monument is holding the sword. Originally, it had to be longer, like 19 meters. And then the Metropolitan of Kyiv, Pechersk, Lavra, had a vision. He said, like, if the sword rises higher than the cross of the Lavra bell tower, then there will be the war bloodshed. And you know that the Soviet engineers listened to him, and they cut the sword. They shortened it and made it 16 meters. So today we have the shorter sword. It's very symbolic, and the statue is not just about war, it's about the strength of the nation, a power, about wisdom. It was built in 1981. That was the kind of high period of Soviet era. It has on the shield, it has the at first Soviet symbol, and now it has the trident, Ukrainian symbol. You can even see our trident, Trezub trident over there. It's made with the blue and yellow stones. Underneath this huge statue is the National Museum of the Second World War, and you will see also there are tanks, military vehicles, weapons. If you go that way, you will see the museum of the current war that happened now. And when the some regions were liberated, people came there, collected the items and make them museums. So this is a museum of this Russian war. When they installed the sculpture, they found that the nose looked like very small from below. It was like a little bit invisible. So they made the plastic surgery, the quick kind of adjustment, and they enlarged the nose. And also they noticed that the breasts are different. So you know what they did? They did nothing to the breasts. Like they are still standing in this natural shape, and it doesn't have the natural symmetry. So one breast is a little bit different than the other. Like she's the real lady, not perfect but powerful. Not perfect but powerful. Guys, I will try to go to the square in front of the Motherland monument. But again, I will ask you to give me feedback about the connectivity. Absolutely nothing. So I will try and but closer. And this is the biggest flag in the country. There are two elevators inside the statue. One goes vertically and the other in her shoulder, and there are the viewing platform behind her shield, so you can even climb to the shield and see Kyiv from the best position. It's kind of not even the architecture, it's the art, and it's the stubborn Ukrainian steel, because it was made with the first technique of welding the steel. I think this statue has emotions, strength, and very silent power. I love her. She's like Kyiv, very proud. She's a little bit wounded, you know, because of that nose, because that they were reshaping the shield. But Ukraine is fighting and she's standing. And right now she's still watching over the city and she refuses to fall. It was all this place, the whole place was about the price that Ukraine paid in the World War Day. They don't mention that Ukrainians, a lot of Ukrainians, but let me know if their connection is very poor, like pixelated, and I will not go there. When the war ends, I think that there will be more senses like in this museum and in this place, because we survived the World War II. We were fighting together with kind of as a part of the Soviet Union. These huge statues are here, and now we're fighting against Russians. They came to our lands. Yes, she's strong and brave like me. Exactly. Ask your question at Motherland. I will try to answer. Do you have any questions to Motherland? There are vehicles, the damaged, and it's here. It even has the huge well, kind of a concrete. We'll go to the top. Yes, on a very beautiful tour, we will explore St. Andrew's Descent. On a very beautiful tour, we will explore St. Andrew's Descent. Keeps buffering, okay. It was a nice try, but probably it's not a good idea to check again. I made a promise for myself, never go again like to the bottom of the statue. I will stop here. Let me know if it's better or not. Better now. Okay. So, if it's still visible, I'm here, statue is here. We made the last try. I will never do this again. I was saying that all the time for myself when I was making these Hego tours. Never go to that dead zone below the basement of the statue, but still viewable. I've seen it. Thank you. So we are not like, it's not any kind of private platform. It's YouTube, and I will make the video about the statue. You will see it in good in good shape and in good condition. Thank you so much for being with me. We had a very diverse tour, a sacred part of incredible Kyiv cave monastery, and this powerful statement of Ukrainian resilience. I will show you the incredible flag, Ukrainian flag, biggest flag in Ukraine. Engineers are saying that the statue will stand for at least 150 years. It's very solid. So probably I'll be lucky and see her more to visit me in Ukraine. I will try, Marilyn, to make the video inside of the caves, but I will need to ask for the permission of the people who made these videos inside, and because it's not possible to go inside the cave monastery with the gimbal, and the monks are sitting and watching you like this, and they are very strict. They will not allow you to film. So we will try to I will try to ask the permission and to use the video of other people of inside these caves, their mummies, and how it looks like. Yes, the statue is very strong, and you know, it's kind, it's solid, but it's very, like, spiritually very kind and empowering. Thank you for being with me. Yes, I'm planning another tour, my favorite one, St. Andrew's Descent. We will have it, today is Wednesday, this will be Friday. On Friday I will take you to St. Andrew's Descent. It's kind of Kyiv's Montmartre. We will see pictures, musicians, different kind of cafes, St. Andrew's Church. Absolutely wonderful tour. Slava Ukraini, Heroyam Slava. One day we will visit you in person in Kyiv, and we will all celebrate free Ukraine, and you will see Statue of Liberty, like our Motherland monument, without buffering. Oh, like here, you see, here is a beautiful, I have to come here, you know, it's a wonderful position. You can see the statue very, very close from here. Heroyam Slava. Let me know if it's still buffering or it's okay, because it's a wonderful viewing position. It's incredible. Thank you for loving me. You can't even, yes, you can understand, but I'm going through awful personal drama, and it's becoming more and more dramatic. I keep silent because you don't have to listen to my whining all the time. You really supported me enough, but I'm so grateful that you were here with me on YouTube when I just discovered about everything. You remember those tours in Prague? I will never forget them. Thank you so much for being my virtual family, and that is incredible. So I will so this is the place where we should come, like from the start, not to go down. Ukrainian flag, and let's again see this Motherland monument. It's still wonderful. I'm very, very close. You know, I'm very close. Okay, see you next time, and we will have my favorite tour, St. Andrew's Descent and the lower city of Kyiv. It's called Podil, where the city started. Thank you and goodbye. Love you all. Goodbye. Thank you on PayPal. You are so incredible. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Friends writing, it's not whining. We're glad that you feel comfortable to share with us and not have to walk alone. Yes, I really needed that. This is also, as I